Doing all right, man. How you doing?
So,
Did the game feel slowed down for you in the way you probably thought it would at the start of year two?
Yeah, I would probably say due to the preparation, we've been preparing for Indy for maybe about 2, 3 weeks. We had the bye week on the last week of preseason, so we had a good amount of time to, get prepared, for what they like to do, and also get prepared on the calls that we went in with. And so I felt comfortable when I was out there. A lot more settled this time than last year.
What kind of tips about preparation have you picked up being with Bobby for a year and change?
A lot, man. Just watching film, taking care of the body, a lot of details within that. As far as taking care of the body and how to watch film, what to look for, what certain teams like to do with different packages and personnels and all these things that go into it. I've learned a lot from Bobby. Still learning. We got up here this morning, watched a little bit of film, and so just trying to see how far I can take that and keep progressing.
How did that compare with the way you were watching film in college?
Shit, it doesn't. I didn't watch half the film that I watch now in college. In college, you just wake up, go play football, But it's a lot more detailed on this level. You got to know what's going on around you. You got to know what every guy is doing, every guy next to you is doing, and also the opponent.
That defense looked explosive last week. Have you considered how much more that will be the case when you play in front of the home fans, right? Because the noise can give you an extra jump.
Yeah, I was proud of the way our defense came out week one. In a away game. Their fans were going crazy, and we just came out hot. We made a couple errors here and there, but overall we played really good defense. And to come back home this week, it's going to be exciting. This is the first real chance to see what the 12s is really about for me, and then a lot of other guys that's making their debuts. And so I'm just excited to see where our defense can take the next step. How can we get better from week one to week two?
I know your teammates have talked about what it's like to play in front of the 12s. How have they been described?
Man, crazy, loud, obnoxious. And as a football player, especially a defensive football player, that's what you love. You love when the crowd going crazy. Everybody's yelling and throwing flags or whatever. Man, I love that energy. It just gets us going as players. And so I'm excited to see what that's about.
you got to play the whole game basically as well. I mean, you're not coming off the field situationally or whatever. What was that sort of like for you?
It was cool. It was definitely, I think, the most snaps I've played since college. And so, got a little winded here and there. But as the season gets on, I'll get in much better game shape and I'll be ready to go.
Coach Carroll was commenting yesterday about Bobby. He's been around here 10 years now, and he has great start to the season, 13 tackles, but he set the bar so high that no one's really talking about that. There's just kind of a ho-hum performance for Bobby. Just curious, what, as a young linebacker, what are you picking up from him? And you talk about film study, but how important has he been for you in your career, your development? I assume he's obviously not a guy you're taking for granted the time you get to spend with him.
Yeah, he's been huge, like the big brother in a sense. And he's where I'm trying to get to, And so I tell people all the time, I'd be a fool to not, gain knowledge from him and try to pick up things, to help myself to get to, the place I want to get. And so, every day I just, we talk about anything, whether it's life or whether it's football, I'm just trying to pick it up. People that know Bobby, he's a great person on and off the field. And so it's a lot to learn from him. And so for me, I just try to, stay humbled and pick up what I can while we have this time together right now.
Do you wear him out with questions, or you kind of stay away and let him come to you?
I don't ask a lot of questions. I sit back and observe. Most of the time, he just come up to me. I won't even have to ask anything. He just give me the knowledge, and so that's what I appreciate about him too. And especially when I was first coming in, a little starstruck, a little scared to, kind of open my mouth. He kind of, approached me in that way. So I appreciate that.
What impresses you about the safety duo you play with, Jamal and Pondre?
They love to tackle, and they love football. That's the big two things for me. I love when a safety comes downhill and just hits. That's what you're gonna get out of Q and Jamal, and the energy that Jamal brings. When you guys sit around and watch some practice, you see it every day out of Jamal, And I think that's just big for our defense, let alone our whole team. And so, those two guys behind us communicating, it's just like a safety blanket for me, knowing I got those two behind me.
Like you said, we see Jamal on the practice field, we see the energy there. What does that look like behind the scenes too? Is that a guy who's, is that contagious behind the scenes as well?
Oh yeah, what you see on camera, what you see on the field is Jamal all the time. Always on 10, always high energy guy. It's not fake, it's real energy. And so you got to love a guy like that, that's always in a good mood, always smiling, always happy. So just lucky to, get to play with him.
You tackle too many people as big as Derrick Henry?
Nah, it's a big guy. Excited for the matchup. I think it's a good opportunity to see where we are as a defense as far as run defense. That team likes to run the ball a lot. They got a good running game. So I'm excited for the opportunity to go out there and play ball.
Anything else, guys?
Thanks, Jordyn.
Thanks, Jordan.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.